Here we are again. Fucking delusions. Delusions running wild. Fucking madness. It's getting worse. Worse by the day, these people. It's not just the liberals anymore. It's others. I don't even know what these people are. I guess they're not liberal though. Some of them are right wing. Some of them are libertarian. All kinds of delusional motherfuckers. There's a growing delusion in the nation. And it's called Trump derangement syndrome. It's been around for a while. It's been around for over a decade. And it's inflicting more and more and more. Some people that are rich, it's very interesting. It's very interesting that so the TDS, it begins to spread, and some people didn't have it. And they were like mocking people that did. They were like making fun of them. And then somewhere along the way, they got it too. They got the TDS and they became the people they were making fun of. It's very interesting. There's so many delusions right now, but they're all about Trump. It's all like centered around Trump. Is like the sun, and all these motherfuckers are like floating around him and shit. Obsessed with him. And they're just so fucking dumb. You got the liberals who believe Donald Trump has dead children buried under the golf course or something that he raped with Epstein. You just got these people that are just like retarded. More and more every day I realize I'm surrounded by the most retarded people ever. And it's just, wow. People can't read. They can't think critically. I don't even know if they can think at all. I remember a while back there was like a study that came out that like a lot of people don't even have a voice in their head. Like they don't even talk in their head. They don't have thoughts. They don't think about things inside their head. They don't have a voice in their head. It's just like weird. It's some weird shit. And those are the ones that must be telling me Trump has children under the golf course and Jay-Z has been implicated. And it's just, guys, it's just people calling into a tip line, leaving anonymous tips. That's the shit we're reading. It's not even worth my time to go through any of it. It's stupid. This whole thing is stupid. The Epstein stuff is retarded. That's what I've learned. Like, it's retarded. Like, yeah, there was a guy, Jeffrey Epstein. There were children raped. There were horrible things done. But there's no evidence of it. Why would they? And when you start to really think about it, why would there be evidence? Why would the most powerful people in the world just be keeping files on themselves of incriminating evidence? It just seems silly. It's just, come on. And yeah, there's probably some stuff, blackmail stuff, but when you're talking the most powerful people, the people you want are not, you're never going to get that. There's no way that the U.S. government just has all this shit that's just sitting. I mean, come on. It's wishful thinking. They don't have a bunch of evidence on celebrities and stuff. They don't have anything. That's what you're going to have to come to terms with. You're going to have to grow up and come to terms with the fact that you got delusional about a conspiracy theory and you got all these ideas in your head, but there's no In reality, there isn't a big file of shit. Why would there be? Why would there be? I'm not saying there weren't videos. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that shit got destroyed. That shit's gone. They're not keeping that around. They're not they're not going to let you release that. So they're going to release, some tips and some emails. Whip-de-doo-da-day. I already know Bill Gates is a pedophile. I already know this. He's connected to Epstein. I don't know what he did. Maybe he's not a pedophile. Maybe just hang out with Epstein. Maybe his wife divorced him for no reason. What do I know? Maybe she left for nothing. But Donald Trump's not in the files. You're not going to get anything on Trump. There is nothing on Trump. Trump didn't do nothing. We'd have seen it by now. Enough. They got blackmail. Oh, the dumbest shit I see on Twitter. They're blackmailing Trump. He won't strike Iran, so they release the Epstein stuff. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Donald Trump won't strike Iran, so they released a bunch of shit on Epstein that has nothing to do with Donald Trump. And doesn't incriminate Trump in anything. And is a big nothing. A big nothing. A big waste of time. Every time some shit comes out about Epstein now, I just roll my eyes because it's always bullshit nothing. It's always, Prince Andrew. No shit, Prince Andrew's a fucking weirdo. No, we already knew. I already knew all that. They've hyped it up now that it's like Donald Trump was raping kids and we got the evidence and it's going to come. And every time something comes out, when it's not that, it's just like, well, whatever. It's never anything, though. It's never nothing. Oh, somebody called into a tip line and said Trump raped a 13-year-old. Well, I could call into the tip line and say that. Who gives a shit? What credibility is that? What evidence is that? Somebody called into a fucking tip line after Trump became president when people were delusional and out of their fucking minds about Trump. They get to call into an anonymous tip line and make shit up about Trump. Wow, shocking. Shocking. Such shocking stuff. And then these retards, apparently there's an email, they got a Jeffrey Epstein. The only thing they release that matters is Jeffrey Epstein in an email saying Trump wouldn't take a massage. He wouldn't get massaged by one of them girls. Trump's not involved in it. Move on. Got nothing to do with Iran. He won't strike Iran. He's going to strike Iran. What are you talking about? They're surrounding Iran with a fucking Navy ships and shit. What the fuck are you talking about? Why don't you pay attention to what the fuck's happening in the world? Quit sitting around delusional out of your fucking mind, rambling on. What the fuck does Jeffrey Epstein have to do with Iran? Get a fucking grip, guy. He won't bomb Iran, so they release this. Like, what? Jesus. And now when he bombs Iran, they'll say, see? But he was already going to bomb Iran. If you're following along, they're moving the ships in place. Clearly something's about to happen. We have more military power in the Middle East right now than we did before we hit Iraq. So, do you know how many billions of dollars it costs to move all that stuff in place to attack? A lot. Just to move those ships, it costs about 7-8 billion just to move the ships. I think that might just be one set of ships. There might be a bunch of, fleets of them. I don't know. There's a lot of shit. And this has been going on for weeks. They've been preparing this for weeks. There's Twitter accounts that monitor the movement of the ships and the planes and shit. Like, why don't you idiots just keep up with what the fuck's going on? What the fuck does this got to do with fucking? Fuck's it got to do with goddamn? Like, this shit is so retarded. This Israel shit is so retarded. It really is a fucking, like, if you are infected with that, you have like a virus in your mind. It's the dumbest fucking shit. Because all of your insane theories can just be explained away with simple logic. Got nothing to do. Not everything surrounds Israel. I done told you about Iran. Trump talked all this shit, and they did it anyway. So Trump kind of has to do something now. You know what I mean? Or he looks like a punk. I'm just telling you the reality of life. Get mad about it all you want, but this is a reality of life. If Trump just lets it pass, he looks like a bitch because he ran his mouth, because he stood up and was like, hey, it's like say they was in a bar, Trump was at the bar, and then you had the leader of Iran at the bar, and this guy got up and he started slapping some woman across the face, and then Trump stood up and he said, hey, don't do it again. And then he just laughed at Trump and slapped the bitch again. And then Trump sit back down. It was just like, eh. And everybody in the bar was like, damn, what a bitch. Why'd he even stand up and do that? Why didn't he just shut the fuck up to begin with? So this is just how it's going to be. I mean, you get over it. Cry about it all you want. It has nothing to do with Israel. It has nothing to do with Netanyahu. It's real simple. Trump has 3 more years in office. Is he going to spend the next 3 years looking like a bitch? If he gets punked out by Iran here, then his foreign policy is going to suffer because no one's going to see him as strong anymore. They're going to be like, oh, we can just stand our ground, tell him to go fuck himself. Trump drew a red line. Has to be enforced, or what's a fucking... Next time he draws a red line, who gives a shit? No, right now Trump looks strong. Because Maduro did the same shit. Running his fucking mouth. Look what happened to him. But Trump did this to himself. He didn't even have to say nothing. He could have just stayed out of the Iran shit. He could have just said, I'm not going to get involved. He could have just put out a little message like, we're with the people of Iran. We stand with them or something like that. But he said help is on the way. He said all this shit. He drew a red line. Now, do you enforce your red line or not? It's a simple question. Do you enforce it? Or do you go, never mind. Whatever. Never mind, I said that. Remember when I said, don't do it? Don't do it or I'll handle you? And then you did it anyway. And then I just said, No, they're going to strike Iran. They wouldn't move all these fucking ships in place for nothing. It costs billions of dollars. You idiots. Has nothing to do with fucking Israel. Yeah, Israel's going to be involved because Iran's going to strike Israel as soon as we attack. Fucking morons. Why don't you do some research? Understand how it would play out. Of course, you underestimate the power of the American military. And every time and you got to remember, Trump is always like bitch slapping Iran. He's always doing shit to Iran. They don't do nothing back. They do some performative where they strike. They call Trump up like 8 hours before they strike. They say, hey, 8 hours from now, we're going to strike. We're going to strike this base. And then Trump is like, go ahead and make it 12. And they're like, okay, Mr. President, get all personnel out. And then they do a little performative strike. And then he bitch slaps them again. Trump's never been punked out by Iran. It's not happening. Trump's just going to go ahead and put it into it. He's tired of it. Like Venezuela is like, you don't even hear about that anymore. Anytime you do, it's like, oh, the president over there was told if she didn't behave herself, she's going to get shot in the head. Oh, shit. All right. Well, seems like they got that situation under control. Seems like they got that bitch in line. Said, look, you can cooperate or you can get shot in the head. I mean, it's... We'll put somebody else in your place. Seems simple. You can send us the oil or get shot in the head. I don't think you're going to capture the Ayatollah. I think they're just going to... I don't know. That'd be something. Capturing the Ayatollah and putting him right next to Maduro. That would be something. Wouldn't that be something? Jeffrey fucking Epstein. You gotta get over Jeffrey Epstein. You gotta move on from Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, we get it. They got nothing, man. I'm telling you, they got nothing. They burned all that bullshit. Anybody willing to talk about the Epstein, release any new information? They shot them already. It's over. Don't you understand? They're like the most powerful people in the world. We're raping kids on an island, and Thomas Massey with his bill in the House is gonna, Smokey, it's gonna end these people. It's gonna reveal all. Like, shut up. Fucking dork. Thomas Massey's a dork. You're a dork. Bunch of fucking nerd shit. Smokey, the bill in the House is gonna... Most powerful people in the world are gonna just give up because Thomas Massey co-signed a bill with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And now the files are going to come out, Smokey. And it's just people calling in to an anonymous tip line, leaving stupid fucking bullshit. I mean, what a joke. What an absolute joke of a file. And then we're all supposed to sit around and give a shit. Nobody cares. It's over. Epstein thing's over. He's dead. That bitch is in jail, prison, whatever. She's gone. You'll never see her again. She'll hang herself in there one day. You know how you know Jeffrey Epstein is over? That's all over with? Because the mainstream media is talking about it all the time. Every day. Yep. It's over. And they just try to make it about Trump. That's the hoax. It's just supposed to be about Trump. So now the media talks about it all the time. It's about Trump. So they've killed that. I told you, that shit's not going anywhere. Nobody gives a shit. Don Lemon should go to prison. Don Lemon should serve the full term. I've seen so many people acting like Don Lemon and coming after Don Lemon. Oh, they're coming after him. Trump's going after his political opponents. And I'm like, how? Don Lemon, Trump didn't make Don Lemon go into that church. Trump didn't make Don Lemon film himself doing it. Don Lemon broke the law. What's that have to do with Donald Trump at all, actually? I don't understand what this has to do with Trump. Not everything's about Trump. This motherfucker went into the church, filmed himself doing the shit. Talking about he's a fucking journalist. It's illegal to do what Don Lemon did, and he should be treated just like anybody else would be treated. He should go to fucking jail. Simple. I want to hear all this special treatment shit all the time. Enough with the special treatment. Put his ass in prison. Can a journalist even go in a church and do that? Can he even do that? I don't think you can do that, Don. I don't think you can go in a church like that, even as a journalist, start interviewing the people. Unless you're invited. I hope 20 years. I'm calling for 20 years in prison. Without the possibility of parole. He's going to serve the full 20 years. He should be in jail right now, pending trial. Because he's a flight risk. I wonder what it really, I think at least a few months. Lock Don up. If Don kneels to Donald Trump live in the Oval Office, he don't have to go to jail. I just don't understand how they're trying to make it about Trump. Trump's trying to lock him up. He filmed himself doing the shit. Nobody made him film himself doing it. Nobody made him do that. Nobody made him film himself doing it. The fuck? So you just can't charge him because Donald Trump. That's dumb. It's so fucking stupid. You just can't charge him because Trump. The way these people operate is hilarious. Like, they get to break the law, and then when you lock them up, they say, oh, look, see, you're using your political power. You're abusing your political power to lock me up. You're locking up your political opponent. Like, they could be stealing your fucking teeth. Some liberal could come in your house and steal your television in the middle of the night, and you creep out as he's walking out the door. You say, hey, wait a minute. I'm going to call the cops. And then he'll say, there you go again, trying to lock up your political opponents. Just let me take the TV. You got to let him take the TV. You got to let him have your shit. Because if you call the police, you're using the power of the state against your political opponents. God damn, you can't do that. They're just allowed to break the law. And hell, they try to put Trump in prison, try to kill him. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it. Put Don Lemon away. Put Don Lemon away. Would they be outside the prison crying? Oh, Don Lemon. Oh. Put Don Lemon in there for 25 to life. And what? And just because I want to see the reaction. People lose their minds. Chris Cuomo would have a heart attack. Don Lemon. I seen him on PBB. He's like, Don Lemon doesn't deserve to go to jail. Don Lemon's a journalist. He ain't no journalist. Jeez. That's why he got fired from CNN, because he was probably in there like, yeah, he this is the type of shit he thinks is journalism. And even CNN was like, hey, get this guy out of here. He's a fucking loose cannon. This guy's off the wall. Remember when Elon bought X and Elon was like, I'm going to give Don Lemon a show and going to promote the show here on X and going to pay Don Lemon to do the show. Don Lemon had a good little deal going. And then the first interview he had was Elon Musk, and he attacked him the whole interview. He's a retard. Don Lemon's a fucking idiot. Don Lemon, first episode of his new show, attacks his boss the entire episode. And then he's just like, I'm firing him. Fuck this guy. Don Lemon's a retard. Fired from CNN. Fired from Twitter. Has to resort to just walking around with a microphone, pretending to have a show. Any of us could do. That's the thing. Any of us could do what Don Lemon did. We could go get a camera and a mic, because it's just a phone. So just someone holds a phone, and they film you, and you have a microphone. And the microphone don't even have to be plugged in anything. It don't even have to work. You just hold a microphone, and you put your logo on the microphone, and you walk around, and you just fucking. And hell, when you walk up to people, they think you're from TV or something. They're like, oh, who's this guy? You got a fancy microphone? And you just ask them questions. That's Don Lemon. Used to have a television show. Used to have a big show, big studio, Don Lemon. Now just walks around. Any of us could do it. You could get up right now and become a journalist. If that's journalism, then any of us could become a journalist right now. Any of us could walk into a church and harass people with a microphone. Any of us could do it. Real hard-hitting journalism. What happened to journalism? What happened to meeting a guy in a parking lot somewhere 3 in the morning to get the information? To get this serious information. Now it's I walk around with a microphone and I commit crimes. And Don Lemon gets outplayed by just some kid walking around. He goes and uncovers a bunch of fraud. That's journalism. It's like on the ground investigation. Shows up with a microphone, with a camera, and says, what the fuck's going on here? That's actual journalism. There's crimes being committed, and you're trying to uncover the crimes. Don Lemon is committing crimes. How's that journalism? He is the story. You shouldn't be the story. Don Lemon made himself part of the story. So now put him in there, 25 to life. Actually, give him the death penalty. Be done with this shit. If all those people that went in that church the death penalty and say, never again. We'll never go in a church again. Don't you ever do it again. Really stand by the First Amendment. Really stand by it hard. Take a real hard fucking stance on the First Amendment by doing lethal injection after a trial to the people that went in that church. Give all of them the electric chair for going in that church. That's a real hard First Amendment stance right there. Take the First Amendment serious. This violation of the First Amendment. It's the First Amendment for a reason. It's number one on the list. So, ooh, yeah, we could send them. Maybe the death penalty. Maybe that's a little serious. CCOT. Right to CCOT. Like Don Lemon going to CCOT and then 20, 30 years go by and you never hear from Don Lemon again. And then there's like a documentary where they go visit CCOT and you see Don Lemon's in the documentary. He's been there for 30 years. You'd be like, what the fuck? They really sent him there. That's what you'd say. You'd say, goddamn, they really sent him there. Holy shit. And he's still being there ranting about Trump. Trump be dead, long dead. When Trump dies, they'll throw a party. They'll be unhinged that day. They'll go wild that day. You thought Charlie Kirk was crazy? Oh, my God. These people think they're in like a war or something. So when somebody died, like Charlie Kirk dying, that's like a big deal to them. It's like, oh, my God. It's like a big kill for them. They're unhinged lunatics. But Don Lemon will probably get off. They'll probably just say, no, never mind. He'll get away with it. And then he'll act like he was some political prisoner, like he was some, he'll try to act like he's Martin Luther King or something. He'll be insufferable. Either way now, he's just never going to shut up. Even if he goes to prison, he'll be doing prison interviews. Chris Cuomo will be in there interviewing him. But the law's the law. Put his ass in prison. He has to go. He broke the law. I mean, the whole thing is filmed. It's, I don't know the law. Not a goddamn lawyer. Not a judge. Not a prosecutor. Not my fucking job. But it seems like the whole thing's filmed. So if he did break some laws, the evidence is clear. It's all filmed, start to finish. He filmed the whole thing, start to finish. So if he did do something illegal, it is on camera. So then he needs to pay the price. Simple. Whatever that is, I don't know what that is. I don't know how many years it is, but he needs to serve it. Or he can go to the Oval Office and kneel to President Trump. He can fucking kneel. Go and kneel in the Oval Office on camera with a MAGA hat on. He has to start wearing a MAGA hat in all his segments, and then we'll let him off. When's a trial? Like there should be a trial, and we should get to see it and put the evidence out. The evidence is on film. It's all filmed. Chris Cuomo's like, I don't think it's a good case. I don't. Chris, he filmed the whole thing. What are you talking about? What the? What more evidence do you need but the entire event filmed start to finish? I don't understand what other evidence you even need to consider here. And maybe what he did is legal. Maybe he's a journalist just walking around, you know. But I think the problem is he filmed himself. He was hanging out with these activists before they went in the church. And he knew they were going to go in a church. He knew all this stuff. It wasn't just like he was covering a protest and then they decided to go into the church. And he was just a journalist sitting. He was just there and he just was documenting what was taking place. Maybe that would be okay. Because he just happens to be there. He is a journalist. And he's what is he not going to go film it? What the fuck? But then he's like blocking the door. He's like questioning all these people as they're coming out the church. Like, I think some of this stuff, you can't do that. But I don't know. Maybe you can. I mean, a grand jury indicted him. So, I mean, there must be something. Must be something to it. I guess they just did that for fun. I don't know. Just decided to indict you for fun, Don. Sent the federal agents to your house at 2 a.m. I think they got the camera woman too. Some woman got arrested too. She was crying. She was filming it when they came to her house. She was like, I didn't do nothing wrong. You did. You violated the First Amendment. And the punishment is you will be hung on the White House lawn. Donald Trump will personally hang you on the White House lawn. Donald Trump will take the pistol from Rick Grimes' pistol from The Walking Dead and shoot you. Right on the White House lawn for your crimes. That's what they think is going to happen. This is these people's sick fantasy. Some of them want it to have. Some of them want Donald Trump to shoot them with that pistol. Would give their life is meaningless. So I guess when your life you just feel meaningless, like a giant loser, like at least your death could be something big. You could do something big and go out in a big way, and then people remember you in death. So you're like, you fight the ICE agents, they shoot you. Now people are chanting your name in the streets. Deranged liberals chant your name. And in a way, now you're finally somebody. You're dead, so it really doesn't matter, I guess, but your legacy now is a hero to retarded liberals. You're a hero to them. And I guess that's something. That's more than, before you're just some lesbian. I don't think that woman wanted to get shot. She just, I don't know what she was thinking, trying to run the guy over. Like, what the fuck? Like when a bunch of cops are surrounding your car like that, and first of all, you went there. I mean, it's just the whole thing's retarded. You went there to fuck with the police, and yes, ICE are basically police. So you went there to fuck with them, and then they kind of detained you. And then they got a guy in front of your car and on the side of your car, and then you just take off. You just decide to take off with this guy, and then you hit this guy with your car, and then he shoots you. Like, duh. Fuck you think's gonna happen? But this guy that went to fucking he went down there with a loaded pistol, and he started fighting the cops. I don't know, maybe he had a death wish or something. It's just insane to me. It's insane behavior. Like, you're gonna take a loaded gun, stick it in your waistband, and you're gonna go down to where ICE is arresting somebody, and you're gonna like start wrestling with the. It's just, what the fuck are you doing? And then you end up shot. Like, no shit, you ended up shot. The fuck? You had to know that was a bad idea. You had to know that idea was stupid. Who does that, though? Who gets up and even thinks about doing something like that? That's insane behavior. He was just a normal guy. Normal people wouldn't even think to do that. I heard he got fired from his job, so I heard he wasn't even working as a nurse anymore. His parents said he was acting weird and shit. He got caught up in the liberal derangement and was driven to madness. A week prior to getting shot, he got into it with ICE and got tackled to the ground. They broke his ribs. And then he went back a week later, fucking with him again. Healed up, went right back out there. With a gun this time. And if he would have pulled that gun out and shot and killed one of these ICE agents, these liberals that are weeping and crying and expecting you to denounce everything and everything, condemn everything, boy, they'd be celebrating. So shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a shit about you, and nobody gives a shit about denouncing anything for you. Who the fuck are you? Just some dumb nerd. Some dumb liberal nerd who causes chaos. That's all you do. You cause chaos, and then when somebody dies, you want to fucking use it as like a weapon. Fuck you. And the public is rejected. Nobody cares. I told you, nobody cares. You're being rejected. Bad Bunny is going to perform on the Super Bowl in a fucking dress. That's going to go over well. That's a genius idea. Real smart, NFL. Real fucking smart. So I predict a lot of people turn the game off at halftime. Ratings will plummet. And it'll be a big fucking, like, people will be like, fuck the NFL. The NFL is retarded. The NFL can't read the room. This putting a dress on and all this, it's over. It's over. Nobody cares. Imagine watching the Super Bowl. It's rigged anyway. Imagine even wasting your time. It's not like the old days when it was real. Now it's just rigged for money. People gamble on it and rig it. Steal the money. Nobody watches the NBA either. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about any of it. What a big flop that's going to be. Bad Bunny wearing a little dress at halftime. That's what people want to see. That's what people want to see at halftime. And will anybody step in at the NFL? See, there's no men anymore in the world, really. Like there used to be men that ran these companies. And it'd be some guy with a lot of power in the company, and he'd say, "What? He's going to wear a dress?" No, he's not. No, he's not going to wear a dress. Well, sir, he's adamant he's going to wear this. Well, get him in here. Get him in here. And they bring him in there, and then God lay into him. And then he wouldn't be wearing that dress, that little dress. Not during the halftime show. This ain't Saturday Night Live. Not during the halftime show. We're not wearing a little dress. The fuck are you talking about? And then when Bad Bunny said, "I'm going to wear the dress," they just fire him. Guy would say, "Who the fuck is Bad Bunny anyway? Who gives a shit?" It's actually insane. Held hostage by Bad Bunny. Like, oh, that's some big deal. Who gives a fuck? Like it's Michael Jackson or something. It's just some nerd. Music can't be that good, has to wear a dress. Anyone that's trying to get attention like that, their music probably sucks. Nobody's listening to it. Why do you got to wear a dress? You got to have something to talk about, because no one's going to talk about the actual performance. No one's going to say, "Man, that was a great performance." They're going to say, "Dang, you see he was wearing a little dress." That's what they're going to say. That's all they're going to be talking about is him in a little dress. Not the songs, not the dance moves, not the display, the stage, nothing. They're going to say, "He was in a little dress." Pathetic. You could see this failure coming a mile away. What a failure. Nobody will pull him to the side. Nobody will you just need to fire that guy and get somebody else. Nostalgia's big right now. Bring somebody back from the day who's not going to wear a little dress. What in God's name? And you ask yourself why? Why is he going to do that? Because he knows he sucks, and he's got to have something memorable. He's got to have something that people talk about. So he's going to go with the low-hanging fruit of, just I'm going to put a dress on. Hell, might as well get naked. Do the performance naked. Fuck it. If it's all about shock value. What in the world? The world we're living in. And you know how many people have performed in dresses? Who gives a shit, by the way? It's not even cutting edge. It's not controversial. It's just retarded. It's just retarded attention-seeking behavior that when you see it, you'll just turn the TV off. You'll say, "Enough of this. Good God, this is retarded." Because it's been done to death. It's been done over and over. Who gives a shit? Men were doing performances in dresses in the 90s. Rock stars were doing it. Who cares? Gives a shit. I'm going to do it at the Super Bowl. At the fucking Super Bowl. Just showing you have no fucking sense whatsoever. You're a fucking idiot. As if the Super Bowl's a place for this. For cross-dressing. You goofy motherfucker. You're just supposed to go out there and do some songs and get the crowd hyped up. You're not supposed to fucking be out there in a dress. Jesus. We got to have some big political statement about how men should wear dresses or whatever. I don't even know what I don't even know what the statement is. Nobody's stopping you from wearing a dress. You just look retarded. You're retarded. People are allowed to call you retarded for your retarded behavior. If you're allowed to wear the dress, then people are also allowed to say, this is retarded. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you in a dress? People have a right to do that. They have a right to ask questions, say, what the fuck is going on? Why? And I'll tell you why. Because the songs suck. The dance moves suck. The stage sucks. Everything about it's going to suck. And he knows it. So I'm going to put a dress on so people will talk about the performance. Because if I don't wear a dress, this will just be a forgotten performance. No one will give a fuck. No one will be talking about it tomorrow saying, man, that performance, Bad Bunny, man. Bad Bunny really went hard last night. No, they'll say, did you see that faggot in that dress? In a way, it's no different than Wings of Redemption. It's just some fucking attention-seeking whore fucking bullshit. That's all it is. It's not even worth getting outraged about anymore. It's just pathetic. You see it and you say, my God. You're trying too hard. When you're wearing a little dress at halftime, you're trying too hard to get attention. It's like when Lady Gaga was showing up in all these weird-ass outfits. She showed up one time in a meat suit made out of slabs of fucking steaks and shit. And it's just like, man. And then at some point, she just stopped doing that because it's retarded. It's just fucking retarded. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing with this attention-seeking horse shit all the time? It's no different than Don Lemon walking around with his special microphone, trying to look like he's important, trying to look like he's somebody. He's nobody. He's a nobody. His career flushed down the toilet. He had a career flushed down the toilet. Flushed it down the toilet. It's gone. And now he just goes live and walks around with a special microphone. And nobody really cared about that. So then he's like, fuck, I'm going to invade a church, start committing crimes. A YouTube channel where people commit crimes. That's what Don Lemon decided to do. It could work. Anyway, I'm going to go eat something.